Welcome to Drink Champs, a production of The Black Effect and iHeartRadio.
And it's Drink Champs motherfucking podcast. Make some noise!
He's a legendary Queens rapper.
Hey, Sangria, this your boy N.O.R.E.
He's a Miami hip-hop pioneer.
What up, is DJ EFN?
Together, they drink it up with some of the biggest players,
You know what I mean?
in the most professional, unprofessional podcast, and your number one source for drunk
It's
facts.
Drink Champs motherfucking podcast, where every day is New Year's Eve.
It's time for Drink Champs. Drink up, motherfucker.
Let me tell you how proud I am of you.
Right.
You got a Nike deal.
Right.
Jordan deal?
Jordan deal.
Jordan deal
Uh-huh.
and a Moet deal. Like,
crazy.
yo, make the noise, man. So, describe to people who's living under a rock.
Right.
What exactly is you do? We are legendary. We already said you from Queens. We doing like the behind the scenes. It's not behind the scenes.
Okay.
But just describe to people, what's going on in your life.
Man, so I'm a professional BMX athlete.
BMX athlete.
Right. I ride bikes. I'm
Right.
jumping over everything. Manualing, popping wheelies, all
Right.
of those things, bro.
Right.
And I took that from just a love and a hobby and turned it into a career.
Wow.
I've been pro for 15 years, man.
Wow.
What age did you start riding?
I started riding when I was about 4 years old.
Wow.
But I started taking BMX serious around like 12 years old.
Wow.
And I turned pro at 18.
So how does a person turn pro? Like for people that's sitting around riding a bike right now and just having fun.
Right.
How does a person that's doing that say, yo, you know what, I can make money off of it and I could be doing what Nigel's doing?
Right, so there's two different ways to go about it. You can ride in like traditional contests, compete and whatnot, or you can just be doing your thing outside, like video.
Like social media now plays an
right.
impact
Social
on
media
that,
plays
right.
a huge role into it, and you'll find different companies, or companies will find you to have a chit chat, and if you're worthy, if it's right, if the opportunity makes sense,
Right.
they sign you up.
Right. So then how does one not only get a BMX lifestyle, but then you got hey, let's pop about Ace. Don't embarrass me out here.
We out here golfing right now. Come on, man.
Yeah.
I just came off the 9-hole, man.
Oh yeah.
We golfing out here with Deuce, baby.
How about that? You a golfer too?
Nah, I came out here for the vibes.
Okay. All right.
Same with us.
For the vibes, man. I came for the vibes.
So how does it go? How does a person even like I said, you say you got Jordan,
Right.
I remember Jordan's like first athlete he ever endorsed was Derek Jeter.
Right.
So then he's endorsing you. Like, how the hell is that? I got my Jordans right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? How is that? Hold on, I got my gold cup
Yo,
too.
shout out to Mario too, man.
I'm keeping it Queens.
I see what's going on. I see exactly what's
I had on
going on.
Balenciaga. I said, wait a minute, let me get my life together. I took it off. I had to get my life together.
But real quick, that's the main way to generate revenue if you're like a bike rider, if you're a skater, a surfer, like endorsement deals, right?
Right, endorsement deals.
Unless you create your own
Right,
brand.
endorsement
and stuff,
deals, you create your own brand. You compete in contests. Especially nowadays, man, with like social media, there's so many different ways to go about it.
Right.
Like it's really like the Wild Wild West in a sense. You can make it your own.
Right.
This is what I've been doing my entire career.
But how did you get the call when Jordan called? What did they say?
So listen. So when I turned pro, right? I turned pro at 18, and I got signed to Dave Mirra.
Woo.
So for those of you who don't know who Dave Mirra is like the Jordan of BMX. You know what I mean? Like he's the godfather. He's the biggest BMX rider of all time, in my opinion. God rest his dead, you know what I mean? Like
Bless his soul.
Right, bless his soul and all that. So he signed me when I was 18, and I got signed to Nike a couple months later. So like when I turned pro, it was like in a very like kind of like precedent way, right? It was like damn, you signed to Miracle Bikes and you signed to Nike. So I've been on Nike for a very long time. I recently I signed from I switched from Nike to Jordan Brand within like about a year ago. So it's been amazing to go cross category in a brand like that. You know what I mean?
Doing NBA shit, nigga.
Yeah, right.
Salute.
Do you feel that representation has changed for Black and Brown in this space? Because before, back in the days, you look back, it wasn't there.
100%.
Right.
100%, because you got so many kids from the hood now because looking at it like, okay, I can do this now too.
Right.
You feel me?
Like even Pharrell, like, you know, I'm so glad that I'm affiliated with Pharrell. But even back then, like he was presenting like the skateboard, the BMX type of thing, and people were ignoring him back then.
No, it wasn't cool, but that's because I think there was a lack of representation. I was a skater. Mark Gonzalez was the only skater that was Latino that I was like, yo, he's doing it.
Right.
But there was only like one or two maybe.
It was a handful, right?
Yeah.
Right. See, but nowadays with like social media now, everyone has access to it. There's way more skate parks everywhere. Like people can put their content out and they're not confined to having to wait for the big brand to come find you.
Right.
I mean, like now it's like, okay, I'm gonna put my content out and I'm gonna make it mine and I can create my merch. What I need to do now.
Right.
Different.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, it's a beautiful thing, man, to see. And then, like, not only that, I was just so proud because it's like coming from Queens, two of our biggest brands that is so weighed on us and so heavy on us is Nike, and then it's Moet. Like you from Queens, like, you know, the drug dealers, like, you know, they always have Moet. And I looked and I was just, you know, I always see, I follow you, obviously.
Appreciate that.
And I support you. I don't get to see you a lot, but I'm sitting back and I'm like, this guy really is living the dream of a Queens kid. If when you have a Nike/Jordan deal,
that's dope,
and a Moet deal, like, and you're doing what you actually love to do, I'm mad proud of you, bro. I'll be honest, man. I'll be honest. I be rooting for you. I'm like, go ahead, boy. You know what I'm saying? I be saying, and then you still be driving. You still the crazy shit with you. You still go to the city and you still like hit the parks and still do the tricks. But my thing is, cause I be sitting there like I be thinking like you gonna get hurt. Like I be like, yo, so why do you still do that? Is that something you have to do to keep your skills sharp?
I mean, yeah, like I still love riding my bicycle. At the end of the day, like this is what got me here. Like I was out riding yesterday. I was in front of the FTX arena. Like,
oh wow,
look at my shin right now.
Oh God bless. God bless.
I was out there getting busy yesterday, so wherever I'm at, like my bike is usually with me. Also to your point, right? Where, like when you said like the whole Nike thing and like the Moet thing, I remember like being a kid in the hood, like growing up in Laurelton, and like pulling to the stoop, and like the older heads was out there, following my Moet, chilling, fresh Nike fit on, you know what I mean? So I'm just following tradition in a sense. You feel me? Like that's what it is to me.
You know what's crazy? Moet is so much of a Queens thing. I feel like that was a part of the outfit. Like I swear to God, like I swear to God, I feel like, and you know I can say that now because Jay is doing business with Moet. Because you know I'm an ace guy. You know what I mean? But yeah, like Moet was really like it's really like even to now. Like yesterday I was drinking Moet, right, Mr. Lee, and it really like I promise you I hate to sound like an alcoholic, but. It tastes like regular Kool-Aid. You know how like how you like you know how you
so used to it?
I was so used to it that it's like it was going right back to drinking Kool-Aid. But how is that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
nah, it's wild. Yeah, it's wild, man. Like it's crazy, right? So I think it was June of this year. I went out to Paris for Fashion Week.
I was just about to bring up Paris. I seen you out there.
Yeah, I was out there doing that, and Moet invited me to the chateau out in Epernay. And that was a vibe because they brought me to like the cellars. You got to see the process of how they bottle, how they store, how they age the Moet. You know what I mean? And then they had this amazing like chateau with like 10 bedrooms, marble everywhere, chandeliers, like wow. So they had this entire experience, which is so crazy, man. Right. So just again to think about it, like being a kid riding around my hood, watching like the older cats and the hustlers like pop Moet or be in a club, whatever the case is, get to work with a brand like that, and now I'm in France, like actually bombing with that brand and building. It's an incredible opportunity. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And your passion got you there. You didn't have to do something else to get
bike
to
riding.
That. Right.
You feel me? Yeah, like, it's crazy.
Yes. Yeah, come on. Sit him down. Come on. Let's do it.
Steelo Brim.
Cover boy.
I hate to immediately ask
somebody phone over here.
I hate to immediately ask both of y'all this question.
What's up?
But it's a hot topic right now.
Okay.
And people are saying that two of our gods in hip hop
come on now.
are not relevant. I
think the word relevance is being used in the wrong way to be honest.
I can answer that very easily, but I wanna start with you walked in. They're saying that
I don't know how. I mean, I kind of understood what Boosie was trying to say.
Oh, you already know why I went.
It's not you can't. The word Jay-Z and relevance is gonna always be
right.
You know, to me hand in hand. Like, so he's definitely relevant because of what he does for the culture, where he constantly moves. But for me, Nas is on the charts.
Right.
He doing this nonstop too.
He just won a Grammy last year.
Exactly. So both of them definitely relevant to me.
Right.
Now come on.
Right. I mean, listen, we sitting here drinking Ace of Spades, right?
That's right. And
what are we talking about? You know what I mean? I feel like Dream Chance is one of the biggest shows in the world right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we're here doing that here.
Yes.
And then Nas is Queens, man. So like, I mean, come on, he's dropping albums, dropping music. Like, how could we sit here and say he's not?
See, I'll answer the question like this, right? In different people's worlds, relevance, like, like, listen, right now, I can go to a Jamaican concert, right? And there might be 30,000 people saying that Nori is not relevant. Right? Because I'm not saying, yeah, blood clot. Where you going? This year, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly how they're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on, bro. Come on. Sorry to all my Jamaican fans out there.
Come on,
Jamaican fans, I'm sorry.
You don't know you love the yard. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm trying to say is, they would say, like, if I was to drop my old music, they say that's not relevant right now, right? So they're right. They're right? So, but then in my world, maybe this reggae artist, this old school reggae artist that is still relevant in their field, it's not.
For you, right.
What I used to listen to in my school hooky parties is not what I'm listening to now. So the word relevant is only relevant to people who find relevant.
Yeah, it's very specific.
Right. Yeah.
It's very specific.
100%.
Like some people were making that conversation about music specific. Okay, you could have that specific to generational, like youth versus this. You know what I'm saying? But relevance, come on, we got to redefine it right now.
Like right now, some people say Britney Spears not relevant. I say Britney Spears, come on, Drink Champs, we gonna kill that.
Yeah, we got it.
You know what I'm saying? We gonna kill that. You know what I'm saying? We gonna kill that, man.
You know what it is for me? I think too, it's about exposure, man. Like everyone, I feel like nowadays, because you can follow who you want to follow on social media, like your world's very finite to what you find important.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And what you find important doesn't mean that something else is not important. So I think it's all based down to
and you know, Boosie's my friend, but it's like if you was to find the young kid in Queens right now, just a random young kid in Queens, right? And you would say, is Boosie relevant? I bet you that kid in Queens would not say he is, right? Yeah. Because that kid in Queens is listening to whoever is hot at that moment, and maybe.
And
now,
Boosie might agree with you though.
And he's gonna agree with you. I will never come at Boosie, but and that's just really what it is, man. It's just like, I
think it also is though. Boosie made that statement, and he was like, where he is, his circuit that he's doing as well, the clubs that he's performing at are very specific. So, and it's a certain his circuit. Yeah, so he's like, oh, you're not relevant there. I would never be relevant there. Honestly, my style of music, hip hop, whatever it is, wouldn't play necessarily in those venues anyway. So, of course, you would believe I'm not relevant because we don't play necessarily at the same venue as well.
Right. Well, to me, they're both relevant. To me, I still look up to them, to what they did as far as business, as far as music, as far as artistry. I always look up to them. But I will never deny the fact that Boosie is his own version of Jay-Z. I will never defy the fact that Boosie is his own version of... No,
Boosie also talked about this. Yeah.
We relevant over there.
He's like, there's all men don't know what they're talking about.
Boosie shit was yesterday.
21 last
But the fact he was on that is important.
But that plays to the point that we're talking about. That it's everything is very finite, like you said. Everything is like very detailed to what you're watching, what you're looking at. Truthfully, relevancy is irrelevant to me. To be honest with you, because the fact that you could be, I know artists that like remember when the SoundCloud shit was popping, and there was artists that had millions and millions of followers. They doing festivals. You ask the average. Like hip hop head, let's say, you ask him, yo, you know this artist? Never heard of him. Yeah. But this artist here is making millions of dollars. They got millions of followers. They doing festivals. That's the world we live in now.
It's like in my world, Big Daddy Kane will never be irrelevant. In my world, the world that I live in, Big Daddy Kane will never be irrelevant. But to my son probably doesn't even know who Big Daddy Kane is. You know what I'm saying? But that's actually my.
But even more importantly,
that's my wife.
Your son, you'll never be irrelevant. Like to our, that's what I'm saying. Like it's all of that is irrelevant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because to somebody, you relevant. You know what I'm saying?
Subjective.
Mm-hmm. Yo, man, it's a lot of good watches out here, man.
That's a lot of money.
I'm just looking around. I judge you motherfucker by they watch. I'm letting you know I judge your ass.
Damn, you been judging me for a long time.
For years. You know what's crazy? I was